to just do a quick video on post-flight data check and also a bit of file organization. So as you can see here, I've already loaded all the photos from my previous flight onto my desktop. So the farm that I flew was Algan Farm, and that was today, 16th of September. So today we're just going to run through how you should organize your data from a flight, and then just some quick post-flight checks to make sure your data is good and you won't need to refly anything and return to the farm and fly. So the first thing to do is obviously load the data from your MicaSense and your DJI every 2 to 3 flights. This way just make sure that you're offloading data and that your memory cards don't fill up too quickly, and just to make sure you don't lose any data. So just quickly looking at how I've organized my data here. So I'm clicking on the farm. I've organized my flights into flight 1 and flight 2, and then under flight 1 I have my DJI images, obviously the JPEG format, and then also my MicaSense photos, the 3 folders there. So as you can see here, it's only bands 3, 4 and 5, which is your red, red edge and near infrared. Before you fly, we need you to switch off bands 1 and 2. So here we've only got the 3 bands, reducing the amount of data that we have. So once you've loaded up all your images into flight 1 and flight 2, just a couple post-flight checks to make sure that all your images are good. Obviously check that they go in chronological order, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down and down. Then filter by size to make sure there's nothing that is naught megabytes or kilobytes. If it's 0 megabytes or kilobytes, that means that your photo is defected and that it didn't work properly. So in this example, there's nothing that's less than 7.2, so we're all good. Another good check to do is to have a random look at a few of your photos, just to make sure that they're not blurry or anything like that. This photo looks good. Look at a random one here, looks good. And then do the same with a couple other photos, just to make sure everything is in order. Do the same for MicaSense. Filter by size again. Obviously the DS store here, don't worry about that. But just make sure everything is 345, 345 and going down in order, making sure that nothing is 0 kilobytes. And then obviously opening up a few photos as well, just to make sure that they're all good. Cool, so those are a couple quick checks to make sure everything's good. Another great way to check if your images are good and you've got enough coverage is to actually just pretend to upload them on the Aeroview uploader. So I've already got my pilot profile open up here. This is the Algan farm that I flew, and the farmer's name is Test. It was scheduled for today and it's 5.79 hectares. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go click upload data now. I'm going to click on visual plus MicaSense. That's what I flew, obviously. Next, I'm going to go and drop all my DJI images. A nice shortcut, instead of going to all your individual folders and dropping all the images, is just to search .jpeg in the top. So it pulls out everything that's in JPEG format from both flights 1 and 2. What you do is select all, drop them into the uploader, wait till it goes dark and says drop image files here. You can let go. There you can see I've got my images for my first flight and for my second flight. I'm going to go next to MicaSense. I go back. And instead of typing in JPEG, I'm going to type in .tiff to search all my MicaSense images. Yeah, it looks like everything's in order, 345. Obviously when there's a lot of images, it takes a while to load. So just make sure that everything's there before you copy it all. Drag it across, wait for the screen to darken, and release. Looking at the MicaSense coverage, definitely enough there, and definitely enough on my second farm as well. So then I go next. Here I can see that both of them have been selected. That means there's both enough coverage. You can double check, making sure that the DJI and the MicaSense are there. There's the blue for DJI and the red for MicaSense. There's definitely enough coverage. It's given me the green light. Same for my other farm. Definitely enough coverage around the edges, and it allows me to proceed. What you can do if you're unsure is to zoom into the actual DJI photos. Think, oh, maybe it's switched off a bit at the end. Think I have enough coverage from here, or I definitely have enough coverage from here, so it won't be an issue. Same goes for this one. There's definitely enough coverage in this example. If for some reason your DJI switched out in the middle and there were no images in the middle, you would at least know now that you need to go refly this block, and you would need to refly the whole thing. You obviously can't have a few images from the one flight and then a few images in the middle from the following flight, as we'll get different lighting conditions and the farm will look very strange. So if you notice that there are photos missing in the middle, either from your DJI or from your MicaSense, then just make sure to pop it onto the uploader, have a good look, and then refly if there are any issues or if there are any missing images. You don't need to go ahead and upload for this one, because obviously you're just in the field at the moment and you just want to check your coverage.